It's in a velvet texture. But yeah, anyways, my point is that I tend to just collect things because I think they're cute. And when you get into designer bag territory and you start collecting really expensive things, it can be a bit of a slippery slope. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers and all your help would be amazing. Thank you so much. I was just thinking this morning about the reasons why we buy handbags. I know most people buy handbags to wear, to style with their everyday outfits. They get inspired by maybe looks on the runway and they want to replicate that look, so they buy the matching handbag. Or maybe you might see somebody in the street wearing a certain aesthetic and you're like, I need that handbag to go with that look. But I find for me anyway, I don't always buy handbags to style with my outfits. I think I'm somebody who is drawn to handbags purely on just the handbag as a handbag. I don't know, I had a lot of Louis Vuitton multicolor, which is pretty hard to style actually and to make look modern. Even though Y2K had a little bit more of a resurgence, I honestly just liked collecting Murakami because it looked cool and the prints were awesome, and I found them a bit difficult to style, but I was just collecting them because of the craziness of them. I also used to have a lot of like crazy Chanel bags, which I wouldn't say were that easy to style, but I just liked them as handbags. And is it bad to buy handbags and just appreciate them as a handbag and not really have any idea how to style them? Because yeah, I even have handbags now which I never really wear, but I just have because I admire them as a handbag. I think if you're a handbag enthusiast, it's okay to just have handbags for having the handbag. If it's a dream bag, I think handbags can just be seen as a collectible for most people. And I always compare it to people who collect Pokemon cards. You know, there's a lot of people who collect Pokemon cards, but they don't actually play the Pokemon game, or they don't actually, you know, fight their Pokemon cards against each other. They just like looking at the pretty pictures on the Pokemon cards. And I think handbags can be a similar thing. You just like admiring the handbag. A lot of people literally just buy handbags and keep them on their shelf to admire as like little pieces of artwork. I mean, even if you look at some of the Kusama pieces from the Louis Vuitton collection, some of them are not that easy to wear. They're quite crazy. In real life, they look a bit, you know, they're not the easiest to style, but as a piece, it's really interesting to look at, and also may go up in value because it is a collectible. I used to collect a lot of other things like plushies. I still have a lot of plushies. I have a lot of shoes, but I haven't bought shoes in a while. I used to collect a lot of fancy outerwear, stationery. Recently, I've only been collecting handbags myself, and I've really been getting into these things called mini shops. So I thought I'd show you my mini shops, guys, and just explain how these are useless things that I collect, but I just appreciate them as objects, similar to like my designer handbags. So there's these things in Australia. I don't know if you guys have them in America, but they're called mini shops, and they're basically, they look like fake miniature designer bags. To be honest, I know a lot of you guys are going to give me crap because you're going to say, Jess, that is a fake bag, but they're honestly just like little toys. So I don't know if this can be classified as a fake, but yes, it is trying to be the Bottega bag, and it's in the color parakeet, it looks like. So you basically get like a little ball, and it's like a blind box, and you don't know what designer bag you're gonna get. So this one is my favorite. It looks like the Bottega bag, but it's, yeah, it was $10. You also get like other little things like makeup and sunnies and all these other miniatures in the ball, but I usually just like, I don't know what I gave some of the other stuff to my friends, and I just kept the bag. There's also oh, I don't know what designer this is trying to be. Some orange bag with frill. Let me know, guys, what designer you think this is trying to be. Maybe this is just their own design. And inside I also put this looks like an Hermes box to me. I'm not entirely sure, and it has like a little ring inside. I just enjoy these little like miniatures. I think they're really cute. Also some eyeliner in there, and oh, it looks like a little, I don't know, like a little Louis Vuitton monogram thing or something. What is that? yeah, like with a key, like a diary. So I just put those in there too. Next I have this bag. I think this is trying to be Gucci, maybe Dolce. Let me know, guys, what you think this is inspired by. And yeah, it even has like the grainy leather finish. I have a little shoe bag. And it says MF Mini Fashions, and then the bottom of the shoe is red and it's glittery, definitely giving me Louboutin vibes. And then there's this bag which also looks a bit like Bottega to me, but I'm not entirely sure, and it's in a velvet texture. But yeah, anyways, my point is that I tend to just collect things because I think they're cute. And when you get into designer bag territory and you start collecting really expensive things, it can be a bit of a slippery slope because it's harder to justify your handbag spending if you're actually not using the bags, but you're just like admiring them. And I think a lot of people justify their handbag purchases because they say, you know, this is going to be a great everyday bag, or I'm going to hand this down to my daughter, or we always make up these little excuses. But at the end of the day, guys, sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself and realize, I think I'm just collecting these things because they're pretty. Like, and it's okay also. I've always said, like, if you don't use a bag, maybe you should sell it and use the money to buy a bag that you're going to wear. But the thing is, guys, if you love the look of a bag and you don't use it, I think it's sometimes, if you don't have to sell it, you should also just keep it because you enjoy looking at it. You can always wear whatever bag you like in your everyday life. If you're someone who doesn't care what bag you actually wear, but you just want to collect the bag, like, you could buy like a cheap tote bag and use that as your everyday work bag and then admire your Birkin at home. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A lot of people would say, what the hell, like, you should wear your Birkin if you have one, and why would you wear a cheap designer bag, a cheap no-name bag, if you have a Birkin at home? Well, some people just want to collect it because it's a collectible, and they are collectibles, to be honest. Like, if you look at handbags and the way they can appreciate in value, I don't think you should be shamed for just collecting handbags if that's what you want to do. For me, I really try to wear my bags because I honestly feel guilty if I don't wear them, because I'm like, oh gosh, like, it just means it's so much more of a waste. And to be honest, I also made my YouTube channel just to justify that my handbag collection could be kind of more used, because I feel like now that I have a channel, I can kind of almost justify having a collection because I'm sharing them with you guys and I'm talking about them, and they're not just like wasted by my viewing just sitting there on my shelf. But if you get joy out of just staring at your bags on your shelf, I don't think that's really anything wrong with that. I mean, as long as it's not hurting anyone. A lot of people do that, and I think that's why a lot of these like little Chanel bags and like miniature bags really came on trend, because they're extremely photogenic, like all these like little micro bags and like useless things. And yeah, I think people just love looking at bags and the design of bags. They don't have to be easy to style. They don't have to be useful. We just like them. And a lot of you guys have asked me to do styling videos with my bags. But to be honest, every time I do a styling video, it doesn't get that many views, which is not a bad thing. But it tells me that not everybody is necessarily into collecting bags for wearing them. Like, I think people just love staring at bags. Like, they love looking at them, they love learning about them, they like the craftsmanship and all that. It's the intention of buying a handbag isn't necessarily for fashion purpose or for, you know, making you look good. Honestly, even though I do wear bags for that reason, I think it's also just because people love to have them for having them for some reason. So yeah, if you are, though, collecting handbags for only that reason, and you feel like you're spending too much money, like someone like me, I feel like I have collector's tendencies and I can easily spend a lot of money on things that I love, maybe try and collect things that are a little bit more affordable, because collecting designer bags and collecting mini shops is a whole nother, you know, category of spending. So that's why I started collecting smaller objects, just to itch that scratch of collecting things. But I do love designer bags, and honestly, I love talking about them, but I am trying to slow down a little bit, so I have been trying to, like, you know, get joy out of smaller things. But let me know, guys, are you somebody who has to wear your bags, and do you feel guilty if you don't wear them, or are you okay to just collect them on your shelf? Anyways, thanks for listening to my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!